man, if you can hire someone, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 bucks a year and have them do that, it's going to save you so much headache, so much frustration, really going to help you see the numbers and understand where you're going so you can manage cash flow for certain projects. Yeah, just don't overlook the finance piece. It's super important. And the longer you wait and hide from it, the more it's going to burn you in the future. Thank you for listening to the Interesting People You Meet podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Newground Financial. Newground Financial is a full-service investment and insurance brokerage firm that specializes in employee benefit plans, corporate insurance, and retirement planning. Newground Financial serves the provinces of Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI, Ontario, and Alberta. Find out more at newgroundfinancial.com. Thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting on the Interesting People You Meet podcast across all of your favorite listening platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. By doing so, you are ensuring that more great people just like you have the opportunity to hear from our guests. Thank you, and enjoy the show. Welcome to episode 29 of the Interesting People You Meet. We're here with another short clip, a short Thursday, that we're going to be talking today about financial fitness, managing your business finances like a pro. And what we want to cover off is basically insights into financial management for your business. Talk about budgeting, forecasting, cash flow management, smart investment strategies, protecting yourself and your family inside and outside of your business as you're starting an organization or growing from small to medium size into large. Really just a bunch of things that I see when I deal with business owners and have been for 14 years. And again, I am one, so I understand these things. We're not CPAs, we're not lawyers, so make sure you reach out to your professional to confirm any of this advice. It's not this is not advice, actually. I'll say this is information, educational purposes only. So, take it with a grain of salt. But hopefully, it helps point out some things that make running your business a little easier, as you do so.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we obviously, like he said, this isn't actual advice, but we deal with business owners every single day, and we talk to them. We kind of see the good things and the bad things that some businesses got going on. So, I mean, Nick, let me hear a little bit about your thoughts. Like, give me some pointers, I guess, on we'll start with budgeting and financing for businesses. What do you see, and what do you think can be improved on?
Yeah, just actually do it. You can't win in business on hope. If you're just starting or you're a few years in and you have some cash flow, like pay attention to that. Watch the numbers. Watch it. Watch it daily. Know what's coming in, know what's going out. For those of you who have accounts receivable, like, man, oh man, get after those. Don't let those run too long. That, cash flow is king in your business. And if you're out doing a bunch of work and not getting paid for it for 30 or 60 or 90 days, or you're doing it all up front for free and then hoping someone's going to pay you, if you're in construction or whatnot, like one of the things I tell my friends who are in construction is like, at minimum, get 50% up front. And maybe it's even more, but like if you're personally floating or corporately floating this budget for somebody's deck or the rent out to their house, then all of a sudden they ghost you and don't pay you, like that's brutal on your cash flow. And you've got to pay people, you've spent time, just don't get into that situation. It's really important to have a good, a bookkeeper or financial manager as part of your team, to help you if this isn't your thing and you're really good at swinging a hammer, or you're really good at whatever it is your talent is, but you're not so good at finances or managing that either personally or in your business. Find someone and hire them as fast as you can. Make sure they're good. Make sure they, reputable and either have a designation or lots of experience, but have them run your QuickBooks or whatever your software is for your accounting. I don't know how many times I've seen like the truck is full of receipts or whatever, and the boys are all over the place, and there's nobody's up. No, you're not balancing your budget. And then all of a sudden you're like dropping this on a bookkeeper's desk, and they're going to charge you thousands and thousands of dollars because you didn't keep your books up to date. Like, it takes time for sure. But man, if you can hire someone, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 bucks a year and have them do that, It's going to save you so much headache, so much frustration, really going to help you see the numbers and understand where you're going so you can manage cash flow for certain projects. Yeah, just don't overlook the finance piece. It's super important. And the longer you wait and hide from it, the more it's going to burn you in the future.
Yeah, I think a root of the main one of the main roots of the problem is people are just scared to do it. I know even in like an individual basis, people are just scared to look at the finances because they think they're going to see something they don't want to see.
Well, it's
I mean,
true. And I mean, we're in a very tough position right now with interest rates being so high. Like, if you're a large business or a government institution or a high net worth individual, it doesn't matter. But for the rest of the population, small to medium sized business owners, it's hard to get a loan right now. If you can, the interest rates are super high. You're having to put your house up for, collateral on the loan. Your personal mortgage is renewing. Like, it's a tough time right now for individuals. And you can't get through the tough time ignoring it. You have to pay attention to it. And sometimes you may have to enlist help. So if it's a business advisor, if it's an accountant, if it's a bookkeeper, if it's a firm like ours who can help you with your individual finances and your business to some degree, to help you better understand what the heck is going on here and how can I get out of this? Am I doing the right thing to be saving should I save in my company or in my holding company, or should I even have a holding company, or should I take my money out and invest in, Apple stock or whatever? Or should I do that in mutual funds or segregated funds or all of the different options out there? I mean, find an advisor to help you. That's why people, are in this industry. Um, Try not to figure it out on your own. Like using the carpenter analogy, if I needed to fix my deck this weekend, it wouldn't be me doing it. Not because I, love spending the money to have someone else do it. I just don't know how, and I don't really want to figure it out. And it's more of efficient use of my time to hire someone who can do it in a day than me YouTube it for 3 weeks and never end up doing it. It's very important to hire professionals for what you do, for sure.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, debt's obviously building up. I'm sure a lot of businesses right now have some major debt problems, especially with, like you said, the interest rates increasing. Loans are being taken out. So, what happens in those situations when, let's say a key person or an owner of the business was to pass away? Like, how can they protect themselves and their assets and what they built
Yeah,
in that instance?
big time. I mean, again, just as an example, or an education piece, there's a couple of things. So if I own a business, I've incorporated it because my accountant said it was a good idea, and my lawyer did, and I've got a bunch of money in there. I've got the company running. I've got employees. Now I've got liabilities. If I get hit by a bus tomorrow, what happens? Right? Does it keep going? How long will your business run without you? Is a good question to maybe ask yourself on a Friday night with a green tea or a glass of whatever you enjoy. Chances are there's not many businesses that it's going to run efficiently without you for a long period of time. And some ways you can fix that is by systematizing your business. Making sure that everyone understands what to do and how to do it, and you're not necessarily doing everything. And number two is protecting it financially. So ensuring that you have life insurance on yourself to hire a number two in the event that you can't be around for whatever reason, or critical illness insurance. So you have a heart attack or cancer or stroke on a Friday. Chances are you're probably not back in the office on Monday morning. Your employees are going, what the heck is going on? What do we do? Well, if you have something like critical illness insurance that pays out 100,000, $500,000, $1 million into your company, now you've made payroll for X period of time, and you don't need to be the one out making the sales and that type of thing, because you can focus on recovering. And the same goes for outside of your company, personal coverage. If those same things happen, what happens to your family? How are they going to get the money out of the company? Are they going to sell it on Tuesday if you had a heart attack and can't work on starting on like the Friday prior? Probably not. But if a life insurance check goes to your family 2 weeks later after your death of however many millions of dollars, they're set. They could be set if you had the proper needs analysis. So now they're not having to fire sell a business. So your family is protected by having proper life insurance, critical illness insurance, disability insurance in the event that you can't work due to injury or illness. Now you have a monthly income coming in. You're not, it's not, uh, your business is probably going to, teeter down, sales go down. If you're the only person making the sales, now you have income. You're protecting your family, and you can do the same thing in your business. So there's a handful of ways that insurance can really help you, and properly structuring your business so it can run while you're sleeping, or while you're on vacation, or while you're on the beach, or whatever your fancy is. Um, you know, Super important not to overlook those things.
Right, and I think to add to that too, like proper succession planning, because I mean, you and I both know that it doesn't. You can't just sell a business overnight. Generally speaking, and like you said, a fire sale. I mean, it takes years to be properly planning for either getting out of the business, whether that's selling it, or if you're getting out and you want somebody to run that as I guess your succession planning. So obviously that is something we're working on here at Newground, and maybe you can elaborate a little bit on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess your options are this: you don't sell to anyone, and you get no value out of your business. You succeed to, someone else who knocks on the door, and you sell, and you hope it's the right multiple, and you probably leave feeling great and totally upset because you didn't get as much as you thought you could. And or you can succeed at, to family or staff and management. So, there's a handful of ways that you can do it, but it doesn't necessarily happen overnight. It takes years. It really does. Like, I don't know what the exact number is, but like 10 at least is probably when you want to start thinking about this. Your accountant will probably tell you more specifically from a financial perspective of how your corporation needs to be running and set up and purified prior to sale. Um, we've recognized this as a major issue. It's one that's often, overlooked in a lot of the business owners that we've worked with. So, yeah, we're moving into this space here in the very near future and offering these services to clients. Ourself and our growing team will be doing so, and we think it's super important. It's a lockstep into, the advice that we provide already is helping protect the wealth individually and corporately of business owners, as well as the health and well-being of their team. And now we can help them better understand, how do I succeed my business? How do I get the biggest multiple from my business? How do I make sure that my employees are looked after I leave my business? And that I can do that in the smoothest way. And rather than you having to figure it out or chat GPT it, we're going to be there to help you. So very excited to tell you more about that in the near future.
For sure. I mean, it's kind of crazy too. Like, I mean, obviously the owner of the business can play a major factor in how much the business is actually worth. Without them in some situations, the evaluations can be totally different, and this is why it really does take so many years of proper planning. And that's why you should definitely speak to somebody that knows what they're doing, because it can be a ton of money in the difference.
It really can, yeah. And I mean, there's plenty. There's the professionals, the accountants, the lawyers that can help. There's business brokers that can help with this type of thing, M&A consultants. But I don't know how much of that's available to the small to medium sized market. So, um, yeah, we're here for you.
Perfect. I think that's going to wrap up episode 29 here. Another short episodes. We like to drop these out on Thursdays, so feel free to keep checking back in for more of these, and we appreciate you listening.